In London or New York, a cabbage is just a cabbage. It's the background noise of a grocery store, a mundane item tucked away in a misted cooler. But here, in the vast, frozen silence of the Canadian Arctic, this is a luxury. This single head of produce has traveled over 4,000 miles. It has survived 2 cargo flights, multiple transfers, and a negative 40-degree tarmac just to reach this shelf in Nunavut. By the time it arrived, its price tag hit $28. Most people looking at the Arctic from the outside think the hardest part of living here is the cold. They imagine the frostbite and the blizzards. But they're wrong. The cold is a constant, something you learn to live with. The real battle? It's the math. It's the sheer, staggering cost of keeping a human body fueled in a land where the earth is frozen solid for 10 months of the year. Welcome to the Last Outposts. Today, we're looking at what it actually costs to stay alive in a land where nothing grows. To understand why a bag of grapes costs $22, you have to understand where we are. We are in a place with no roads. Imagine that for a second. There are no highways connecting these towns to the rest of Canada. No trains rattling through the night. No delivery trucks bringing fresh supplies every morning. Nunavut is a massive territory, larger than most countries, yet it is an island of humanity in a sea of ice. Every single calorie consumed by the people here has to drop out of the sky on a high-cost cargo plane, or arrive on a heavy-duty ship that only has a tiny window of a few weeks in late summer to break through the thawing ice. When the weather turns, and in the Arctic, the weather always turns, the planes stop, the sky closes, and suddenly, the town is truly alone. When the planes stop, the shelves go empty. You learn very quickly that out of stock isn't an inconvenience here. It's a threat to your survival. In this environment, the supply chain is a fragile thread, and every storm is a reminder of how quickly that thread can snap. Walking through the sliding doors of a northern grocery store feels like stepping into a glitch in the Matrix. Everything looks familiar, the brands, the packaging, the bright fluorescent lights, but the numbers are wrong. A 12-pack of sparkling water? $25. A jar of peanut butter that would cost you $4 in Toronto? $14 here. Watch the people in these aisles. You won't see many impulsive purchases. You see parents standing perfectly still, calculating. They are doing a silent, high-stakes mental audit. Do I buy the fresh fruit for the kids to make sure they get their vitamins? Or do I buy the fuel for the snowmobile so I can head out onto the ice and hunt for a seal? It is a choice between a modern supply chain that is failing them and an ancient tradition that requires immense physical risk. In the South, this would be a national crisis. Here, it's just Tuesday. It is the quiet, daily tax of living at the edge of the world. Every meal is a victory of logistics over geography. But here is the thing about the people of the North. They aren't complaining. If you expect to find a community broken by these prices, you've come to the wrong place. There is a quiet, steady resilience here that you simply won't find in the comfortable suburbs of the South. The Inuit have been surviving in this food desert for 5,000 years. Long before the first cargo plane ever hummed over the horizon, they had the sea and they had the tundra. They know that the grocery store is just a thin veneer of modern life. Underneath, it is a much older system, sharing. In the North, if one house has a successful hunt, the entire neighborhood eats. If someone can't afford the $28 cabbage, someone else brings over a portion of caribou. They bridge the gap between an expensive modern world and an ancient, frozen one with a sense of community that the modern world has largely forgotten. That's the only way the math actually works. It isn't about individual wealth. It is about communal survival. Living at the edge of the world means paying a premium for every breath you take. You pay for the heat, you pay for the light, and you pay dearly for the food. But for the families who call this place home, the cost is worth the price. It is the price of a connection to a land that is as breathtakingly beautiful as it is brutal. It is the price of freedom. Out here, you aren't just a consumer. You are a participant in a struggle that dates back to the dawn of man. But what happens when the money isn't enough? What happens when the planes are grounded for a week and the shelves stay bare? When the modern world fails, the people of the North return to the source. They look toward the horizon, where the land meets the frozen sea, and they prepare for the oldest work in history. Next time, we're leaving the grocery store behind. We're heading out into the white void, onto the shifting sea ice, to see the only other option for survival, the hunt. And this is the Last Outposts. I'll see you at the next one.